Welcome to Hamburg. We've officially arrived at the hotel and I really quickly want to show you the suite as I always do. I'm actually already in my robe because I wanted something nice and cozy. Walk in, there's sort of this hallway and then you walk into this room here where we have the living area, which I really love. We've also already ordered some orange juice, things like that. And then over here we've got the desk. Here we've got the double doors. I'm here with Lily.
Hello.
And then over to here you can actually see the view of the lake, which is just in front of the hotel. It's the most incredible view. And then over on this side we have another one. Here I am again. But yeah, we have another one over here. And then we've got these, which I absolutely love. If anyone knows me, they know how much I love dark wood paired with old books. It's my thing, in particular also with silverware. But I just love this a lot. We've got the TV over there. We've got some bags and things around because we have not yet put things away. This is the room. And then again, we have the view to the lake. We do have the TV playing at the moment, playing the advertisement for the hotel. And then as you walk over here, we've got the walk-in closet, which is a mess because we haven't yet had the chance to unpack. So this is currently what it's looking like. I will probably show you me unpacking everything. And then if you walk back over here, there's actually the bathroom, which just looks like this. And there's music playing in here. It's definitely a tasteful bathroom. I really love it. I love the interiors of this hotel. I'm not sure I got the chance to take you on the tour of the hotel when we were there. Let me see if I can turn down this music. Oh, that's louder. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we got the tour of the hotel downstairs, but I think I was just taking everything in. But no, I absolutely love it. And we are staying at the Fairmont here in Hamburg. We're doing some work with the hotel. And so I've got this, and then there's a couple of trips incoming that I'll probably be taking you on. Today we've actually got spa, very chill, very relaxed, which is nice. And then tomorrow we have sailing. I will do a Q&A as well because I feel like that's well overdue. I haven't posted a video in probably well over a month, so I do owe you guys a massive Q&A. I will also show you me doing my makeup. At the moment, I've gotten off the plane, I've gotten into a robe, and I'm ready to also dig in some food. This is the presentation of some of the pieces. We have some cake. There's the doorbell, that's room service. We've got the cake, silverware. I love these. I actually am placing an order of some Crystal silverware, which I'll probably share once it arrives. But we've got some cakes.
Place them on the tables that I
you can. Do you want me to make some space for you?
Yeah, just how you like, and also place it here. And then
yeah, you can place it here.
Like
yeah, perfect. Thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Just got a flower delivery, which is so lovely. You look gorgeous. I actually had a flower delivery over at the house a couple of days ago and now I'm not home, so I don't get to spend not time with my flowers, but I don't really get to be there. Having this view is actually incredible and I just love that the weather is good. I've packed way more than I need to, but I really want to have many options. I also bought my clothes for going sailing tomorrow, but nonetheless, oh, it's a bit dark here. I'll continue the vlog a little bit later on. I don't want to make this boring. I want to make sure that I'm actually sharing something valuable. So I'll pick up the camera once something exciting happens. This is the room service that's just arrived. So we got penne pomodoro and then I also got some muesli. We have some selections of bread, orange juice, the pomodoro sauce, I believe, and then we have some Parmesan cheese. All of that to the view of the lake, which is so relaxing. So we're going to eat and then we're going to probably start preparing to go to the spa at 3 p.m. Is it? The first?
Yeah.
On the rooftop, which I will need to show you because next to the rooftop there is a room which is so incredible. But yeah, we're going to enjoy some lunch now.
Doce Bahia, no alto da ladeira, aperitivo e piscina, enquanto na ondina
currently now in the rooftop spa. It's so peaceful here, hence why I am whispering. And then we have now gotten some peppermint tea and some ginger shots, which we're now going to take. And we also have some snacks.
It's stuck? No, it's not. Ready? That better heal every single cold I'll ever have in my lifetime.
Aperitivo e piscina. Enquanto na ondina tem jacaré e capilinha. No alto da ladeira. Aperitivo e piscina. Enquanto na ondina tem jacaré e capelinha.
Good evening. I've just finished some work which was well overdue, and now I'm actually going to go ahead and organize the closet. Now I don't actually have a tripod here with me, but I'm going to go ahead and unpack everything so that I can see everything that I've bought with me, and then I'm going to do maybe a little tour so you guys can see. I've bought a lot more with me than I'm going to actually need. However, it's because I want to be shooting some content whilst I'm here for the hotel. I'm now going to go ahead and start getting ready for dinner. So I'm currently in the bathroom because I actually need to refresh at least the front of my hair, because when we got the massage done, they kind of continued on here with some of the oil that they used. So I'm gonna go in with the hair products that I usually use. To be honest, I didn't pack everything, especially because one of the main products that I use goes everywhere, so I just don't bring it with me when I'm traveling. But I use a few different brands. I actually was just answering some questions over on Instagram. I posted a Q&A box yesterday. What I'm actually going to do whilst I'm doing my makeup is actually respond to some questions. But for now, I'm mostly going to focus on the ones that make sense to what I'm showing now. So for hair, I mean, again, this is not everything. And to be honest, I'm always trying new things for my hair, because so this is actually a topic that I don't often touch on, but I think it's I think it's probably important for me to touch on it, because otherwise there's a few misunderstandings. For example, my hair is naturally fine genetically. For me, it's split into two. From my mother's side, I have really fine. From my mother's side, what she has is sort of like in straight fine hair, and then from my father's side, I have afro curly hair. So I have a mix, but because of that, there are some areas of my hair where it's fine, and then some areas where it's more full, and you can probably see, well, it's really hard to show, to be honest, and I also do have extensions in because of my hair being fine. I've had a few questions maybe before, but I get extensions that match the length of my hair just to keep everything looking as natural as possible. For example, just getting a piece of hair here, you can see how fine my hair naturally is, especially closer to the front of my hair. I would say the middle of my hair is a little bit more dense. So I actually use the brand Leonore Grail. It looks like this, and the reason I actually use this now is because it's hair products specifically for fine hair. This is not sponsored, this is just what I've actually been using recently. I usually use the oil, but I couldn't bring it with me because that bottle is so, as in the sample size is really not great for traveling. I just have the hydrating mask for fine and dry hair, and then the volumizing shampoo for long, fine or limp hair. So I specifically use these because I've got fine hair. I do also use other brands. I didn't bring all of my hair things because I just bought what I may need. This is the shampoo and conditioner that I often use from Agustina Spada. I actually like a few of their products, also for face. This is also Agustina Spada actually, but this is the treatment, the scalp treatment. And I don't use this all the time. I'm not going to use it right now because I'm just refreshing my hair. This is if I was doing my full head of hair. The reason I don't do full head of hair is because it's going to take a long time to dry, and we've got dinner in about 40 minutes. All I want to do is basically make it so that it's not greasy at the front. I am still going to slick it back, but I think if I slick it back whilst it's already greasy, it just makes it worse. I also really like brand Monpure. This is I have a few of their range. This is the Ceramide Complex Bond Repair. I just bought the conditioner because I have shampoos. And then for hair growth, to be honest, for hair growth, I actually use a whole host of things. I wouldn't say it's just one product, but especially for the density of my hair at the front, I use the Follicle Boost Hair Density Serum, which looks like this. Part my hair because, again, I don't want to get all of it wet. I just want to do the bits that got oil from the treatment. It's gonna look so funny, but just the front of my hair, the back is fine. They didn't go in with an oil back there. So this is gonna look really funny, and this is where you're gonna be able to see that my hair is fine, because it always looks like there's not that much hair here, just because of the texture of my hair. When it gets wet, it does go curly. Despite that, my hair is still fine. It's a really interesting combination right now. I should not, definitely gonna have to trust the process because this does not look very great. I'm just going to start off with the mask. This is definitely quickly becoming one of my favorite brands, because the worst thing that I've experienced with a few products before is where if the product was not made for fine hair, it coats your hair so much. And the thing about coated hair is you don't know your hair is coated until you wash your hair and you've gone through the drying process and everything, and then you're styling it and you realise your hair looks like you haven't washed it, and it's such a long process to then have to wash it again. So having products that just work for my hair has been one of the best things. The thing about fine hair is it kind of like always one of two things. It looks like you barely have any hair, or it looks like your hair is constantly damaged almost, because for example my baby hairs are so fine that from afar it just looks like they're breaking. Now I'm not going to deny the fact that I use heat on my hair, and most likely there's some damage as well. This is actually how it's currently looking in here. We've got some of my favorite pieces, my Carly blouse, some black pieces in here. This is actually one of my favorite dresses. I often get questions about this. It's a black, I don't know if you can see here, it's this black wool dress, and then it's backless. I'm gonna wear this tonight. It's from Rohe. And then we've got this green dress, which is actually an unreleased piece. And then we have some pieces here, and then maxi skirts, blazers, this sort of like blazer blue shirt combination, which I love. I decided to just have some of my bags and shoes. Honestly, this is a lot more than anyone ever needs for 2 days, but again, I like to bring a lot of options. And having here my pajamas and a few other knitwear pieces. I often get asked questions on where I get my pajamas from, and it's almost always from Olivia von Harley. So this is like the trousers set, the shorts set, a few other brands that I love. It's my nightgown. That one is from Bacan Couture. There's a few other brands that I recently discovered, especially around Harrod. Okay, it's a little bit darker now because we've just come back from dinner at the grill. I actually wore, hopefully I showed you, my Rohe dress with the backless design. Here's how it looks in the mirror. In the mirror it sort of just looks like a normal black dress. If it is like this. I have my camera strapped onto me, so that's why there's a third strap. I'm pretty tired, but we just got a delivery from the hotel. So lovely. They've given us some gifts to have a movie night, which in all honesty we're really tired, but I can turn this on. Enjoy your movie night, sleep well. And they've gotten us both something so sweet. I'm just going to open some popcorn, which is the salted caramel popcorn. I don't drink Coca-Cola, but they did add this here as well. Good morning, breakfast has just been delivered. So here I have some scrambled egg. I also got some tea and then just some croissants, breads, orange juice, some fruit. There's also some chia pudding. This is sort of like a poached egg with avocado and tomato, muesli. The weather today is lovely. We are actually going sailing on so this is the lake, but there is a larger area of the lake from what I've understood. They are probably the comfiest pajamas. They're the Olivia von Harley long sleeve, long trousers version. But nonetheless, I'm going to have breakfast and then I think I'm actually going to head to the fitness area. Good morning. It is currently 9:38. I am going to be doing my makeup. I did promise you all a Q&A in the form of me doing my makeup, so I'm doing that today. Leaving here in about an hour. I'm not going to take an hour to do this, but I just wanted to reply to some questions. The timing of it works really well with the fact that I've had a Q&A up on my story since yesterday. I didn't get the chance to respond to all the questions, so I'm doing some of them here. This is the floral mist that I like to use because I like to apply products on a damp face. I'm going to be using the Sisley Integral Fresh Gel Cream, and then this is the SPF that I'm going to be using because the sun is really out today in Hamburg. It's the all day, all year. Pick some questions to start with. I did ideally want to answer them as I'm doing my makeup, not my skincare. I'm using this Dr. Jart. This is the one I've been using, the one with the yellow lid. I would love any recommendations. I mean, this is really good, but I get really dry on the inner bits of my lip. I have some of the questions here from Instagram that I'm going to be responding to. How did you come to know of the subtle brands? Now, I didn't know exactly when they said subtle brands if they were talking about brands that are not as known, because I have a tendency I love discovering new brands. Also, I love just building a collection of pieces that I love. I never do things purposely because it's a subtle brand. Like, there are brands that everybody knows. I wanted to talk about this for a while. I can go everywhere with it. But for example, I think I was having a realization that aesthetics really have helped in many ways because they can be helpful. For example, if your style happens to fit within an aesthetic, it makes it far easier for you to shop, see how you can style pieces that you already have in your closet because that's your style. However, I feel like where aesthetics can become really dangerous is where people apply it into their lives as uniform almost, and that's where I think it really limits people with their style. I think something that I like cultivating in my life is just, if you love it, wear it. If you love it and you can get it. You don't have to follow an exact structure. For example, yesterday I wore this greenish blue, I don't know if you can see it. I remember in the closet yesterday when I was sharing with you guys organizing it, you saw that greenish teal dress. I don't think an aesthetic would go as far as to show pieces like that. For example, if you were doing clean girl aesthetic or quiet luxury aesthetic or old money aesthetic, or I don't know what the other ones are, like siren girl, something like that. There are so many aesthetics nowadays, and as much as they can be helpful, especially as someone who creates content, it's helpful to be able to categorize your content, make sure it's seen by the right people. Like when I share something and if I say, I don't typically say an aesthetic, but like if I was sharing something and it was like, oh, clean girl aesthetic, chances are that's just so that you can find my video on TikTok, not because I'm the epitome of a clean girl aesthetic. Epitome is the word I was looking for. I think that a lot of people, they're like, I'm doing clean girl, quite luxury, so I can never ever wear prints, I can never wear colour, or I can never wear, and I just think that's so limiting once quiet luxury became a thing. And don't get me wrong, I think my style massively falls into that, but I don't go by rules, if that makes sense. It's nice as like a guideline, but it's not the best when it comes to if you want. It just sets too many rules. You don't end up having fun with your style, which is where a lot of people then just like lose the love for getting dressed or putting something together. For example, if I want to get something and it has a monogram on it and I love it, I will get it. If I want to wear a colour that no one expected me to wear because everyone thought I was going to be wearing only beige and cream, which I love wearing anyways, I'm gonna wear it. Like, I feel like that's what it should be. Now, I know I derailed massively off of that question, but I think it's because that's a topic I wanted to talk about. So going back to that, brands that not many people know about, niche brands. I think a lot of it is for several reasons, and I mentioned it in the stories as well, but I thought I would debrief it on here as well. I would say there's a few primary reasons. Number one is being in the industry, you get so much exposure. I always say to people, you would be amazing at something if you spent a lot of your day doing it. I spend so much of my day looking at pieces, fashion. It seems more effortless. That's because I spend so much time doing it. Naturally, if anyone was spending that much time, they would also be finding out about the new brand. If I have a relationship with, let's say, the founders, I'll get access to collections before they launch, so there's that element of it. I will also say that there's a lot of privilege in my journey. I mean, I always like to see things as happening for you as opposed to you. So that's why I'm able to sort of like analyze my life and in the grand scheme be like, that was such a privilege. For example, I've had the privilege of environments in my life. Simple things like, because I have some family in Switzerland, I got to spend a lot of time growing up. I'm just looking for my brush. Got to spend a lot of time in Switzerland, and in Switzerland there's many brands, especially high quality brands. I think actually my experience of being able to be in Switzerland growing up, which is a privilege and I know that, allowed me to really learn what quality looked like. Even when I wasn't shopping, because that doesn't mean that I was shopping cashmere at the age of 5. I had exposure to whether that's other people wearing it, people around me wearing it, or just I would go into the shops, I would feel the pieces, and even if I wasn't buying it, which a lot of the times I wasn't because like 10 or something, or my teen years, whatever, I would at least know what it feels like. I think that one of the biggest issues that I've seen lately is, especially with a lot of brands sort of like rebranding towards quality pieces, which is amazing if it's actually true. And I just feel like where perhaps if you've not felt quality pieces before, and it doesn't have to be, by the way, like the most expensive, there's plenty of other in-betweens that make incredible quality pieces, and maybe I'll make a video about those brands, but you need to get yourself into that space and know what these items feel like and what quality should be, and you're less likely to fall for the marketing of these brands that essentially just want your money. And I think that's something that I've really been reflecting on, because I feel like I remember seeing a lot of brands rebranding towards quality but actually not actually improving the quality, it's more so just talk. So even if you can, just go into stores, you don't have to buy. And I think actually going into stores and not buying is one of the biggest sort of like learning curves in terms of your confidence, because you really learn that these brands are just brands. Moments in your life where you kind of might be intimidated by these brands. One of the biggest things to learn to do is to just be confident in whatever environment it is that you are in. There's actually a lot of times where I walk into a store and I don't buy something. I don't buy something every time I walk into a store. You just kind of have to get used to it. So then in the same way, allow yourself to go to stores without the intention of buying in the first place. If you want to learn what Loro Piana quality is like, you don't have to always go by what people are saying it's like. You can go into the store and feel it for yourself. Now obviously with that you're not going to get the full review, like you don't know how it's going to wash, so in that case you might want to go ahead and like watch a video review. But I do think that a lot of the reason why I'm able to sort of like develop my style and whatnot is through allowing myself to go feel the pieces, familiarize myself with quality. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, because I have no idea what I was talking about and I'm going so fast. I haven't told you what I'm using and I feel like I'm still on the same question. I used Hourglass in the shade Maple. This is the Vanish concealer. I mixed it in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. The shade has rubbed off, but it's 8.75. I'm now going in with contour. This is the Westman Atelier contour stick in Ganache. That's what I use around, and then on my nose I use truffle. But another thing that I mentioned also was the privilege, yes, environment. So you know, being able to be in this industry and have access to these things, I think access is a huge one. But then being able to be in Switzerland, being able to go to a school where people wearing these brands has made a massive difference as well. You know, I've had that around my environment and I'm not going to deny the fact that that's played a massive role being a normal thing, because I think unless you normalize quality pieces, unless you normalize wearing these brands, it's going to always be a very strange thing. So I think that's one thing I wanted to mention. Another question is a quick one, which I've been getting a lot, is how old I am. I think especially since I started a new series over on Instagram and TikTok, I talk about pieces that I'm excited to eventually be able to pass on to my children, eventually, onto my future children, eventually, because I do collect fashion pieces. It's my passion before anything, yes, but I actually in that series mentioned that one of the dresses, the Victoria Beckham gown, I really would love to wear for my 23rd birthday next year, which it's not exposed, I've mentioned it a few times here and there. That definitely brought to light the fact that I am 22. I think for me, I don't feel my age at all, which I actually kind of want to touch on, so let's stick with that. I think for me, I don't feel my age, but I think when I say that, people would never really know what I mean. They kind of see it in a more like jokingly way as opposed to a literal way, whereas I'm being quite literal about it. I don't feel my age, but the thing is I haven't felt my age in a very long time. I don't know if I was feeling my age when I was younger, because I don't really think you think about these things, but for example, when I was 12, I was already not really feeling my age. That's kind of how it's been. I do also recall, which ties into another question as well of like the evolution of my style. The thing that's funny is about my style is I feel like for many years I actually kind of wasn't able to express my style. For example, I remember very vividly, because back in the day it was all about Reiss for me. This was before I discovered a lot of the other brands. I think I must have been 14, and I remember going to Reiss, and I remember I used to love, and I still do, but this was before I discovered other brands. I thought Reiss was the epitome of it. I remember I would be so obsessed with Reiss. I loved the colors, the tones, the designs, even though even now it's still very minimal. That's exactly how I always wanted to dress. However, I feel like there was a lot of, isn't this a bit mature for your age, which I don't think was ever coming from a bad place. I think it was just coming from a place of like, naturally everyone around you just wants you to be able to be a kid and like experience. And I definitely had my awkward, you know, when you look back at pictures from, I think people think that maybe if you're a Gen Z you don't experience this, although I had to turn off the camera, it was overheating, and then I needed to change my battery because it was running out. I think what I was saying is I think a lot of the times people think that like, oh, you know, I feel like you've missed out, but the truth is I don't feel like I have, because I still was able to dress like a kid. It's just that I possibly grew into a place of like, I want to dress more like this at an earlier stage, but I feel like everyone experiences it. Not everyone, but I think, you know, people change is inevitable, and I think sometimes people, they get a bit fussy about when someone changes a little bit earlier. They go, oh, like you must have missed a step, you must have done something wrong, and it's just like, we're all very different and have a different journey, and everyone's timing for change is so different, and it just happened to be that I was a little bit younger when I was a bit like, you know, I really just want to be able to dress like this. But I've just done bronzer and blush, and as you can probably see, I do cream products followed by powder product. I'm gonna go in with the powder now from Hourglass. The way that I like to cultivate my style at my age is by not subscribing to the belief systems of too mature for your age. That's not the belief system that I live with. Do you think that a lot of the times the things that you believe about how things are massively affect how you experience life? A lot of the times, not always. I just think that, you know, for me, if I believed that the style was too mature for me, then I wouldn't wear it. I said I'm genuinely happiest when I'm wearing my neutrals. It's not that I'm trying to fit, like, it's just where I'm happy. If I was happy in navy, actually I love navy, purple, I would wear purple. I think what I was coming back to say is that I always felt a connection to the style that I have now. I just wasn't always able to express it. I think someone also asked me, you know, like, how do you learn about fashion and style? I think it's massively through experimenting. Don't be afraid to go bold and do something that you would never do in order to learn, okay, you know what, maybe I just will never do that again. That's fine. I'm just finishing off powder here, and then I'm gonna go in with my favorite mascara from Giorgio Armani. I feel like this was not the most successful Q&A I've done because I kept forgetting. I think the best thing would be to screenshot the question and keep it in front of me. PM and we've just come back from sailing. I'm currently getting dressed because I'm shooting something for overall on Instagram. So I'm just shooting that here because the weather's been lovely, and when I get back to London I have a couple of other things that I will be shooting. So I want to do as much as I can here as well. But no, today was absolutely lovely. After doing this, we're going to then go into the fitness room, which I was meant to show you anyways, so I will show you. I'm going to get into my gym gear, we're going to go in there, and also because I want to showcase some of the facilities around the hotel. Okay, I ran out of battery, so I had to change that, but I was saying I need to fix my earring. I'm going to go ahead, shoot this, then go to the fitness. Then we actually have dinner at the Japanese restaurant downstairs. The hotel actually has a whole host of restaurants, so you really could just stay at the hotel and never leave. I definitely would like to come back soon. I just think if you're anything like me and you enjoy, I mean, to be honest, we're here during the week where the hotel is known for being a little bit more quiet and not so busy, but apparently it does get very busy over the weekends. So if you're thinking of visiting Hamburg during the week, this might be a really good option. I think the thing that I appreciate the most is just so lovely in terms of everybody is just in their own element, but not in a selfish way, in a very sort of like, you feel like you can just be you. It's been so lovely. The people have been so nice in Hamburg. I actually have not been to Germany yet, so I wasn't sure what to expect, and it's just been so lovely. I'm not sure how good of a job I've done of vlogging. Obviously, I'm here for work. I also had other work things that were commitments that I wanted to get done at the same time, but I also enjoy vlogging, so I'm getting back into it. I do have other bits of travel here and there. Coming week, I would say, sorry, I can see the rose outside. I get questions sometimes on my other videos saying things like, could you do daily vlogs? The truth is, I feel like anyone who knows me in my personal life knows that a lot of the time I'm just so tunnel vision with getting work done and things like that, that my day-to-day is quite, it's not something that I would necessarily vlog, especially because I just kind of like to get the tasks done as opposed to vlogging it and perhaps elongating the time that it would take to do a task. But I do think that at some point I will possibly incorporate vlogs. I just think it depends in the season of my life that I'm in. At the moment, I think the best thing is for me to vlog when I'm on trips, which tends to happen quite often, and so we'll end up getting vlogs related to that city. For example, this will be the Hamburg vlog most likely, unless I decide to include other travel. So if this vlog is not enough or sufficient when I watch it back, I'll most likely add in other bits of travel. Currently I have to confirm some things as well, but I think currently we're looking at Saint-Tropez and Spain perhaps, and then I do want to make my way back to Switzerland to see my family again. It's not been as long this time around, but because I just went, I actually didn't vlog, but me and Lily, which by the way, if you're not sure who Lily is, she helps me a lot creating content. So sometimes you'll see Lily, sometimes you'll see Beatrice, which is one of the photographers that I love working with, who I travelled with before to the south of France, or there was Joshua at one point, so you've probably seen a few people in my vlogs. That's also because those are the people that I'm happy to share on a vlog. Or Rosalind, for example, who is one of my really good friends and is also on social media, but I don't share a lot of my private relationships. That's why sometimes you might not see a certain trip, because it probably means I'm traveling with someone that I don't want to vlog, or I will still vlog, but you won't see the people or the person. Back from the fitness area, but we are now going to get ready for dinner. Lily's just popped out, so I am just going to get ready. I think I'm actually going to wear a maxi white skirt and a black sort of like stretchy top. I think this one is from, let me put you guys, this stretchy ribbed material top that I have from Enza Costa. I do have another option, which is this, but because we're going to the Japanese restaurant, I just feel like this is maybe a little bit too much for that. I already have my makeup on. I didn't do any extensive exercise in the gym, to be completely honest. I went in there because I wanted to film content for the hotel. I also do have my Camilla & Marc cream trousers, which I love, but I don't really want to wear a full monochrome cream outfit tonight. Not that I wouldn't want to, but just I want to wear this instead. So this is the look so far. This is actually a top that I have from Enza Costa. Take you into the living room, but the top that I'm wearing is actually quite an old one. I actually lost it for a while and then I finally found it again the other day. But this is the top, a boat neck, but it's a ribbed material. And then the back looks like that. I don't know if they still make this. Again, I've had it for quite some time. And then, excuse the slight mess, but the skirt is from Henne, which I recently got. I absolutely love this. I'm wearing it in a size 6, I believe, which is my usual. Here is a 6, here is a 4. But I didn't want it to be high-waisted because I wanted it to be maxi. There's something about a skirt that just floats on the floor. And I'm just going to fix my hair a little bit. And then I'm going to wear the clutch bag from Verified until I get my Kelly Elan. And then I'm going to add some gold accessories. There's some things in here. Bangle and ring combination from Pelen. Just having it over the top like that. And then this one maybe like this, or I might do it on the other hand. I'm going to wear my Jenni Kayne. I'm wearing my kitten heel slingbacks from Jenni Kayne because they allow the skirt to stay as maxi as possible. Like, it's just very simple, but very nice.
Excuses keep us down. We chose and we choose the life we have.
It has now just gone past midnight and I am packing up the closet because we are leaving tomorrow morning. Had a lovely dinner downstairs in the Japanese restaurant and it was absolutely lovely. I'm very much looking forward to get some sleep and waking up tomorrow, and we're going to have breakfast in the breakfast room as opposed to in the suite. This is a piece that I got last year for the Ritz-Carlton. Well, not for, but I got it last summer and I still absolutely love it. It's from Arket. It's just a nice way to implement some colour into my closet. For me, it also reminded me a lot of pieces from Loro Piana that they typically release in the summer. But no, like I was saying, a brand I've been loving is Bali, and I recently spoke about Bali on my TikTok because I recently got a new bag, which I have wanted for a really long time now. I actually, when we went to Switzerland a couple of weeks ago, we stopped by the Bali store and I tried on the smaller sizes of this bag. It's not with me right now, I left it. It's delicate, I wouldn't have used it. Yeah, I would have been worried about it sick. So, especially because it's new, the last thing I want is scratches over a bag that I wouldn't have even worn. I was actually talking to one of my really good friends and I love that my friends are such sort of interesting people. Like, every time I do something, they're like, oh my goodness, I used to work there, or something. It's so fun. But I was talking to one of my really good friends and she actually mentioned to me how her first internship was at Bali, and how even when she was there in 2017 she noticed the same thing, which is that they are so underrated, especially for the quality that they produce. I said to her, honestly, I can't believe it, the quality is so similar to some of my Hermes pieces and also Loro Piana bags that I felt as well, and price is so incredible. I think I had a comment of someone saying you should have gatekept this. I kind of agree. Part of me wants to keep it to myself and have this as one of my secret finds, but I know that there's many of you who are always looking for new brands. Well, Bali is not new at all. The quality of the leather though is incredible. The craftsmanship is out of this world, so I would highly recommend. I decided to go for the Deco Daily bag. Good afternoon. I am now vlogging from London. I've just arrived to the Emery Hotel. I'm here with SkinCeuticals And actually it's quite funny because I'll show you a quick room tour, or suite tour, because I'm actually in one of the suites. But funnily enough, I am going to be here until tomorrow morning, so it's an overnight stay, and then in the morning I'm heading off to Brighton with Sisley, one of my other favourite skincare brands, and then I'm finishing off the day with Brunello Cucinelli in the evening, so that will be very fun. Just to show you, this is the entrance. Just here you have a closet. I was just saying, and then I got my luggage delivered, but this is the closet area, and unlike in Germany, I didn't overpack this time around. Then here this is also the bag I just got delivered, is sort of like a dressing area. This is the outfit that I'm wearing. This is not a full length mirror. I'll try to see if there is one, let's say in the bathroom, but I'm wearing this. I will link everything below because sometimes I forget to link over here on YouTube. I'm so used to doing it on Instagram and TikTok. Sort of like jacket situation. It's a 100% wool jacket from COS that I got last winter. I think when I got it I was like under the impression that this is going to be perfect for ski season. I actually didn't go skiing last winter, but it still works really well with the rest of my style. It's just this neutral taupe colour. This is actually new. I have put a picture up. I went to Switzerland and I wore one from Soft Goat, which looks basically like this, except it's like a fluffy cashmere. This is like a silk merino wool and cashmere blend, a little bit more lightweight. You can sort of like see through it, but they're perfect for when it's like sunny, but not really. Trousers are from Almada Label, and then I'm just wearing my brown loafers from Jenni Kayne. Anyways, we carry on walking, and then here we have the bathroom. On. There we go. So this is the bathroom, and it's actually, I haven't stepped in here actually, that's why I couldn't figure out how to turn on the light. We've got some things from SkinCeuticals in here. So we have the Advanced Brightening UV Defense Sunscreen, Simply Clean Gel, the Resveratrol BE, Phytocorrective Mask. I used to have things from the Phytocorrective range. I haven't stocked up in my SkinCeutical products for a while, so I actually need to get back to using it, especially the CE Ferulic. Age Interrupter Advanced, and then the Age Advanced Eye. I have no, this is for the phone case to stick it to the glass. That's wonderful. I actually don't have one of those, and I never really thought I would order one. Here we have the Toto. I love these so much. This is a Mayborn hotel, and if you've watched my vlog before from south of France when I was there, that vlog you would have seen that I toured probably the suite there. And then here we have a bar. The shower is open concept. And then you keep on walking into the bedroom area. Oh, they've actually given me, this is so sweet. As you can tell, I've literally just walked in. Some books to read, so that's lovely. This is the bed, the view, I'll show you. It's a bit overwhelming because I've also just stepped in. Okay, this is how you know. You can open this up and have a bath open like this. That's wonderful. Anyways, then we've got sort of like coffee station and tea station. Okay, sorry, if anyone knows me, you know that I collect tea, and the one kettle that I actually was talking about this with a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in over 4 years yesterday because her partner also collects tea. This kettle where you can turn it on and you can, well, I don't know exactly where it is on this one. You can decide the temperature of the water. I have dropped something. Anyways, then we've got the TV, and I'm carrying this bag with me. Recently, it's the only bag I've basically been wearing. It's my latest acquisition, which is Bali Deco Daily. And then here we've actually got a peanut cookie, which is wonderful. And then we've got some pink hydrangeas, which is wonderful. And we've got the view out to, well, we're actually just on the side of, if you walk further that way, you're in the direction of Harrods. And then here, I need my key for this. You can open, this is like a window situation, which is wonderful, but I don't really need this open right now. Another great thing actually is that on this trip, the photographer present is Beatrice, which is actually, if you know, was the first photographer that I ever travelled with, and we went to the south of France, and I did vlog that. But anyways, I'm gonna call them in now because I've just arrived. I came slightly, tad bit later, but I've already recognised, for example, Lucy downstairs. It was just lovely, and I'm going to then go ahead and use the spa, so I'll probably get into my bathing suit, and then I'll probably do, the lighting keeps changing, but I'll probably do a little bit of a Q&A. I honestly was watching back some of the content from Germany, And the thing I realised is that I definitely don't oftentimes think about how I'm showing up on camera, which is not a bad thing. I just think I don't really think about it, and then I rewatch the content and I think, I wish I just polished myself up before I showed up on camera. Anyways, I'm gonna call them up and then I'll see how much I can vlog. I didn't show you, but actually the pyjamas that are here for tonight are from Sleeper, and they're these ones with the feathers on the ends, and it made me realise it's these and the black trousers, and it made me realise because something I've really noticed and I kind of wanted to talk about, why not, I love vlogging and I love just chatting to you guys. I feel like the more that I've touched on my basics within my style, my tops, my beiges, my cashmeres, the wools, and all these things, the more that, and maybe it's because it's spring summer, but I've definitely had more of a drive to really want to also tap into like my Zimmermann slightly, because actually it's not everything from Zimmermann that I love. I'm not an avid fan of florals, but it depends the sort of like the arrangement of the florals. Sometimes it's too much, especially if it's like lots of different flowers. But recently I've actually been getting colourful dresses, but not in the way of how I used to. So like I have definitely dabbled in colour before, whereas now I recently got this yellow. The colour is Soleil. It's from Arsina Ori. It's this gorgeous golden toned yellow. So I'm now looking at colours that really complement my skin tone. And it's this V-cut and the back is open. The back has like some beading. I'll put a picture up on the screen. And I am so excited to wear that in like Saint-Tropez. I think it's just, to be honest, it's still the same as it's my usual style. My style isn't changing. I think I'm going a little bit deeper within my style. And now I'm thinking more about the occasion at hand. For example, if I'm in the south of France, Saint-Tropez, I personally think that wearing something like that just works a lot better than just a white dress. Then day to day, I would wear a white dress. I feel like it's just so lovely though, because I'm really tapping into like different textures. I think this all started actually last year when we were on the Ritz-Carlton yacht, Ilma, for the launch. And they had, the first evening, the theme was to wear blue. And I wore Shona Joy cobalt blue dress. And I think that switched it on in me because I was like, this is so cool. That doesn't mean that I will wear like colour all the time, and I think day to day I would very much still wear, for example, what I'm wearing today. I don't know, maybe it's because it's the summer. Let me know if you guys are the same, if you guys have also quite a minimal style. Do you in the summer transition to wearing a bit more colour? It's kind of like, I wanted to say like the first, maybe the second year that I'm kind of like dabbling in colour during spring, summer. I just think it just feels more in line with the season, if that makes sense. It comes back to what I've always said, which is that it doesn't matter how amazing your style is, if you can't dress for an occasion, it will always look like you don't know how to dress up in that moment. For example, on the Ritz-Carlton, it was to wear blue. If I had shown up and worn white, it would have just looked like I either didn't care or didn't respect the kind of like dress code. Also, if I don't look directly at the camera, I'm getting used to it because I don't vlog all the time and my viewfinder is out so I can see myself. Another thing I really wanted to show you, and the reason I wanted to get a bit of a vlog in, is because they're going to be about 20 minutes to come up to me and start shooting. So I thought, rather than, you know, unpacking, there's not really much to unpack, I would just talk to you guys because the light is nice, and then I'll take you guys to the spa with me. But I actually wanted to share with you, to be honest, this is not a very good what's in my bag because I just arrived, and when I travel my bag doesn't actually have what I would usually have. But I don't know if I've shared with you already. Let me move backwards a little bit because every time I edit my vlogs I realise one of two things. One, I know I talk very fast, but I do that in real life. Two, I often sit too close to the camera, and then when I'm editing I get really annoyed at myself for doing that. This is the latest bag in my collection and I wore it all day yesterday. I think I've worn it for a full day now twice. It's relatively new, I just got it last week, so yeah. But this is from Bali. It's called the Deco Daily Bag. I'm going to take my ring off because it's a very smooth leather and I don't want to risk scratching. Also, another thing whilst I mention it, I get quite a few questions about this ring, so I will also leave the details to it down below. A bag I wanted for a very long time. I don't know if I didn't vlog when I went to Switzerland. One, we were working all the time, and two, I then went to go and see my family, and that's not something that I vlog. But when I was out there, I went to the Bali store because this bag was on my wish list. Actually, no. The bag from Bali that was actually on my wish list was tan leather, similar to the Hermes Gold, and then it's a canvas. The thing about that bag, one, it's officially like sold out on the Net-a-Porter site. It's actually slightly larger than this one, and this is quite a large bag. I'm not going to deny the fact. If I stand up, I don't know if you can see, but it's quite large. And the one with canvas is slightly larger or deeper, and I just thought it's a bit too big. Also quite high maintenance because it's canvas, and when I wanted that bag it was because this one was not on the site. When this came on the site I was like, I need it. And I know I have quite a few dark chocolate brown bags, but it's my favorite color. It goes with everything I wear. It's in this gorgeous smooth calf leather, not organized at all. This is not what I usually would have in my bag. I thought, why not? It's quite entertaining, I guess. I have firstly my earphones. I was using AirPods for the longest time. They just stopped working. They would run out of battery even after I charged it, and then it was just a mess and a hassle, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to wires. I have skincare, which I would never have in here, but already packed my luggage, and then I was like, oh wait, maybe I should bring some more skincare. But so yeah, this is just some Sisley products. I've got, I think I showed this in Germany. Actually, I think I also have the eye cream in here. The Supremia line, which is the more premium line from Sisley. I really like it, but if you're not looking to try Supremia, or for example, you are wanting to try something that gives you the feel of using Supremia line, I love the Sisley range. Actually, I might like the Sisley range a little bit more, especially because Supremia you can only use at night. This is the Sisley Fresh Gel. I've been using this for a really long time. I know I'm here staying with SkinCeuticals, but this just shows you that I do use a mixture of brands. Same thing with my clothes. I don't just shop in one place. Like, I don't even know if I mentioned that this top is from Buck Mason, which is a new brand to me. I love fashion, so I love being a bit of a testing out person, with testing out all the brands and seeing what's new. I love being able to try new things, see what brands are new to the space. I'm not really like a, oh, I have to wear this brand head to toe. I usually like to mix and match. This is actually not really interesting. It's just my camera battery in here, and then like my batteries for my camera that I'm filming on now. Middle compartment, this is honestly how you know that I'm probably working like most of the time. I have this Tetchy, it's like an SD card. You put the SD card, plug it into your Apple computer, and then there you go, everything shows up. Also, the bag came with this, so you can loop the straps together, these two. I don't really do that, so I just keep these in my bag. Tiny bottle of water. I also have, it's like a USB charger for my batteries. It's really not interesting. And then this is a pouch, like a makeup pouch from Agustinus Bader, and in here I just have some more skincare. I think I already showed this all in Germany, so I'm not going to go into that much detail. The Floral Mist Spray, the mask, which since Germany I've used this so often now and I absolutely love it. Sisley L'Integral Anti-Age, but it's the Anti-Dark Spot Serum. All year I haven't really unpacked a lot because I just got back from Germany a few days ago. This is the Agustinus Bader SPF 50, and then I also have the hair oil, which I decided to bring just in case. I also have my contact lens case. You probably can notice in my vlogs that I do wear coloured contact lenses. That actually started, if you've been watching my content for a while, you will remember that I had chalazions, which is where my eyes were so like swollen to the point where they were starting to look or appear slightly deformed. That was the case for an entire year, and so to take away the attention from the chalazions, if I'm going to be completely honest, I started wearing contact lenses because I was like, when people see me, they always are going to look at my eyes anyways because they were really swollen. I was showing a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in about 4 years a picture of how they looked, and I said, you know, that's why I started wearing contact lenses. Funnily enough, the contact lenses, I can't say it was just the contact lenses, but when I started wearing contact lenses, also reducing stress, but I found that the contact lenses were actually improving the chalazions for me. I can't say that that's actually how to improve chalazions. It's not medical advice. I think for my case, it was the fact that because I had something foreign in my eyes would do a better effort at cleaning. Or maybe it was just because when I started wearing contact lenses, I wasn't that focused on it, and then it just, I don't know. But it definitely did speed up the process, I think. So then I just carried on wearing them, especially because a lot of the times I go to an event, I have pictures taken of me, and sometimes I'm just like, yeah, I just want to wear green. Sometimes I don't wear them at all. Like yesterday, I didn't wear them at all. So I don't wear them all the time. I have them in now, you probably can't tell because you can only tell when sort of like the flash goes off. But anyways, that's enough of me talking because I feel like I've been talking at the camera for a while. I'm gonna get ready. They're probably gonna be here in a second, and we're gonna shoot some content, and then I think I'm gonna head to the spa, have some room service. I think in Germany I did quite a few like answering questions, but when I watched it back, I didn't do as many as I thought. I would take like 20 minutes to respond to one question. So then I thought, oh, we've got a lot of footage. Like I answered lots of questions and I didn't. So anyways, it's on my bed, which I thought was super cool. Doctor to your door turn down service. On this trip there's actually 2 doctors. There's Dr. Wasim Taktuk, which I actually know him because I randomly met him at like a plastic surgeon aesthetics doctor event celebration that I went with a friend of mine who is an aesthetic doctor, and then Dr. Christine Hall. Please select your preferred turn down service time slot, including your SkinCeuticals AOX serum for the morning and evening wellness cocktail. Please place this card on your door outside for collection. Sorry, I don't know if you guys were looking at me. I think for me, I'm definitely a CE Ferulic girl. I used to use it a lot. I just started trying out lots of other vitamin C's and then I just didn't go back to it because I was still trying out lots of different ones. Ah, that's interesting. Fluoretin CF is for people who are somewhere in the middle of CE Ferulic and Silymarin, and it's best for those who suffer with pigmentation. And then there's CE Ferulic. But I don't know, because I love CE Ferulic and it's really weird, and I don't think I have any filters on this camera because I took it off. I'm trying to look at my skin. I always thought that I experienced pigmentation on my skin, but I think recently it's really improved. I think, to be honest, I use other products as well for that, like Allies of Skin, Delic Acid is amazing. But it's weird because now when I tell people that I have pigmentation, they're like, no you don't, and I'm like, I do, but I can't see it. But I think it's because mine are post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which means I'll only really get hyperpigmentation when I get a spot. I'm just a CE Ferulic as a maintenance thing, as opposed to like treating it as though I actually have pigmentation everywhere, which I don't think I do. I will say I do have it on my neck. I don't know if you can see. I love that I'm treating this like a doctor's appointment, but I do slightly have it on my neck. But I do think for me maybe CE Ferulic is best, but maybe if they come in here they can check. One thing that I do experience with my skin is dehydration, but you can't often tell. Usually it's like in the morning when I first wake up is where you realize, ah, my skin is dehydrated. It's not dry, but it's dehydrated. Okay, so this is the peanut cookie. Yeah, oh, I love this. Ooh, these are nice. Arthur Price of England. I love these. The only thing I don't love is that it says Arthur Price of England. Like, for example, Christoffel, which I just ordered. I don't know if I showed you guys. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I ordered the Aria set with the gold rim. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for that to arrive. I really do need to cut down on my sugar intake because it has been affecting my skin. That's why you probably saw when I did the zoom in, my forehead right now has a few spots coming through, but that's because I've been having sugar like there's no tomorrow. And every time I go for a facial, they're like, have you been having sugar? And I'm like, yeah, okay. This is the little piece. It is now, it's not actually that much later, it's just that they arrived when I was about to do the taste test of the cookie, and we've now shot. That was quite quick, but it was lovely. I wanted to spend some time with Beatrice. I haven't seen her in a while, so I didn't vlog anything. I have to say I did eat the slice because we were taking pictures with it and I was like, you know what, I'm hungry. Basically tastes like Reese's cup. I'm just waiting to hear when the doctors are going to come up. The times after I can basically go to the spa. This is how it looks and I absolutely love it. But I don't really like eating on camera, but I will just tell you, it tastes like Reese's Cups. The second bite, it doesn't taste so much so like Reese's, it just tastes good. It tastes like cookie dough and Reese's Cup together.
It's 10% vitamin C,
okay.
But what Fluoretin is really good at is beating pigmentation and discoloration. And actually, what you'll find, because now coming into the summer months, that you may not need as much hydration from the CE Ferulic, you can probably switch. So a lot of people use Fluoretin CF in the summer months.
I just received the delivery of the items that I selected and placed at my door. So first of all, I have some tea. This one is, to be honest, it looks like chamomile. Actually 2. So initially I selected the CE Ferulic, and I don't know if you heard if I vlogged it, but they did say that I can actually go for this one, which is the Fluoretin CF. This one is a 10% vitamin C, and then the CE Ferulic is 15% vitamin C. And what they've mentioned is that a lot of people use the CE Ferulic in the winter when they need a little bit more hydration from that CE Ferulic, whereas when you don't need as much hydration in the summer but you still want the effects from, you know, vitamin C, that this one is great, especially for things like pigmentation. The doctor did actually look at my skin. I could have vlogged it, but I was in the moment and I was also shooting some stuff on my phone. But she did mention to me that she can see some points of pigmentation where I've probably had some spots before. Hydration cocktail that I selected. I keep eating the leaves. I'm trying to get the drink. There's some ginger in that, but it's wonderful. 8, and as you can probably see, I had turned down service, but I'm actually going to open the curtain. It's not actually, the sun is still out outside, and I want to make the most of the lighting, showing you guys around a little bit. I went down to the spa and I used the sauna, and then I dipped my feet in the pool a little bit, especially because yesterday I went to meet up with a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a really long time, and we decided to go ahead and walk her dog, and it was really lovely, but we did so many steps. Just turning on the light, maybe that helps. Especially because I don't really want to, that's why I didn't do the steam room, I didn't go fully in the pool. That's because I don't want my hair to have to get done again, because tomorrow I have 2 events, and yeah, one of them, again, like I said, is Pilates with Sisley. I then have an event with Brunello Cucinelli. My hair's starting to pop up at the sides. I'm going to put this on to flatten it out, but maybe now is the perfect time for me to order some room service and then do my skincare routine. Okay, on my way to look for the menu, I just found this, and this is honestly the most unique. I've never seen this at any other hotel. They have Apple USB-C dining. We found it. There's some coasters. I actually didn't open any of this. I completely forgot to also, obviously the mini bar like usual. This is Folkington's cloudy apple juice, and then I'm guessing it's orange. Yeah. For starter, could I have a Puglian buratina? Could I also have truffle fries on the side? For the main, could I get the roast baby cauliflower? And then for dessert, could I just get a chocolate fondant with vanilla ice cream? Perfect, that's everything. Could I have... I think I'll have the sparkling water that's already in the room. Yeah, I think I already have some in my room, so I'll have some of that. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I couldn't find the page for the main, and I panicked. Good evening, my room service has just arrived. You would have seen, did my skincare routine. I decided to hold out and have my dinner first. Then I'm going to do a long shower. I'm going to steam my sleeper and then get into that. My room service arrived, which is essentially what I had said before. Burrata with heritage tomatoes, things like that. Truffle fries, which there's a substantial amount of. Roasted cauliflower. Here there's some bread. And then this is the chocolate fondant and then the vanilla ice cream. Good morning. It is currently 7:31. Car is booked for 8:10, so I have about 40 minutes or so to get ready. So I'm going to brush my teeth, have a shower. I am gonna have a quicker shower because I had a bath yesterday, which was really lovely. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, get dressed, steam my clothes. I'm also leaving my luggage here because I don't want to walk around London and then Brighton with a luggage bag because I'm not going to need it for the Sisley event. Wonderful experience waking up to this basically, because usually I'm walking up and down here if I'm like walking through Hyde Park, so it's kind of funny staying here. Nonetheless, gonna get everything ready. I don't know if you can see this little bit of a mess. I've got my things over there, I've got my luggage bag that needs sorting there, so I'm gonna do all of that.